All right, welcome. So for our second part of the TSI Prep 4 notes, we are talking about the characteristics of quadratics, where we're being asked about the y-intercept, vertex, minimum or maximum, depending on the function that we have here. So the first function that we're looking at, we're going to find the y-intercept. Now remember, the y-intercept is where the line crosses the y-axis. So, notice that this here is the y-axis. And if I look at this line here, well, the line touches the y-axis at this particular point. So, if we remember, our point needs to be in the form x comma y. So, this point is at 0, comma, -7. So that is where the y-intercept is. The vertex is basically the point that splits the function in half. So if I were to draw a dashed line through this function, then this point is where the vertex is located. Okay, which of course is still 0, comma, -7. Now, I don't want you to think that the y-intercept and the vertex have the same point, because it's going to be different if the function is shifted somewhere else, right, where it's not at the y-axis. So I want you to remember that the y-intercept and the vertex are two different things. But if you're not understanding what the vertex is, let's make a quick note over here. The vertex is a point that splits the function. Or basically we can say that the vertex is a point that splits the function in half, if that is much more clearer, right? So there we go. And then the minimum is basically what is the lowest point of the function. And of course, it's still 0, comma, -7. Okay, so hopefully that does help. So the minimum is the lowest point of the function. For number 2, now remember the y-intercept is where the line crosses the y-axis. So if we look, this is where the line crosses the y-axis at 0, 0. So that is our y-intercept. The vertex is basically the point that splits the function in half, which is exactly here at 1, comma, 1. And then the maximum is the highest point of the function. Okay, this is the maximum. It can't even get it higher, it can't go any higher. So this is where it peaks, if that makes sense. Okay, so that's the maximum, and it is at 1, comma, 1.